Hey, what's up guys and gals, it's Terrorize here, back with another Monster Hunter World video. Today I'd like to go over 5 really strong builds that are also actually a lot of fun. A lot of the Monster Hunter community is split between pure DPS and having fun with the game, and I think that these builds bring fun and strong to the table. The builds I'm going to show you aren't min-maxed optimized, they have a lot of flexibility. And in this video I'm rather intending to show the core skills and builds that make them so strong in the first place. Some of these builds aren't too crazy with mixing and matching, but I figured I'd want to start out simple, especially because I want to continue content on Monster Hunter World. And one very important thing to note is that for these build videos I'll be doing in the future, I'm going to stay away from monsters like Fatalis and stuff. Apparently a large part of the community still actually hasn't defeated Fatalis, and I think that the endgame monster's armor is well, let's be real, it's broken here. Although one build in this video does have one piece equipped on it, but that's more just to show the potential of a certain very fun build that I designed myself. I feel like there's a very fine line between people wanting to do the typical critical eye, weakness exploit, critical boost, and just trying to have fun in general. It doesn't mean that we have builds out there that don't do both, and that's what this video is intending to show you. So without further ado, this is 5 very strong and fun builds for Monster Hunter World. Let's get in. Number 5, Frostout. This is a build that focuses on a crit draw and punishing draw playstyle that has a lot of knockout potential and lots of guaranteed damage. So to sell this build to you, the Frostout knockout set gives it a very different play style. It's all about the draw attacks. It's a very flexible build in that it can focus on all knockout or all frostcraft, or you can have a little bit of both. And the reason why this build is so strong is that it's actually guaranteed good damage since you have such quick draw attacks, especially paired with the skills focus and quick sheath, meaning you can kind of play a hit and run play style that's unlike any other typical Monster Hunter build you may have seen. Admittedly, this is a build that you may have seen online here and there, but I have this included in my video because I genuinely think this is one of the most fun builds in the game. And to my surprise, this build was actually outperforming a lot of my builds that I thought were better by lending to way quicker hunts. So overall, a very fun and unique playstyle while also dishing out great damage. So for the Frostout set, first we have the Rimeguard Helm Beta. Comes with some Divine Blessing level 2 and a level 4 slot and a level 2 slot. Next we have the Rimeguard Male Beta. It comes with 2 points of Quick Sheath, which I do think is a little underrated. Quick Sheath is one of the better skills in Monster Hunter, though it isn't used very much. Comes with a 4 slot and a 1 slot as well. Another point of Quick Sheath, so combining this and the male, you already get level 3 Quick Sheath, which is the maximum for that skill. You also get 1 point of Flinch Free, not the best, but that one little point will help you against teammates' attacks. This one also comes with a level 4 slot. Next, the Rimeguard Coil Beta also has flinch free. It comes with a level 4 slot and level 1 slot. Now these two pieces of armor don't really shine very much, but they're necessary to get our level 4 Velkhana Divinity for Frostcraft. Lastly, we have the Frostfang Greaves Alpha. Alpha, you say? Why yes, Alpha, I say. These legs come with attack boost level 1 and 3 points of Slugger, the maximum amount of Slugger you can have without getting into Slugger's secret. It also comes with 2 level 1 slots. Now the reason you want to use the Frostfang Greaves Alpha in this case is that it actually comes with more points for min-maxing altogether rather than the Frostfang Greaves Beta. The Beta comes with 2 level 4 slots, which is very good for a piece of equipment, but it drops all of the Slugger from it. Since level 4 decorations come with 2 skills each, the maximum amount of skill points we can get from this is 5, whereas for the Alpha, we already have attack boost level 1 and 3 points of Slugger equaling 4, plus our 2 level 1s for 6 points for your min-maxing. This is one of the rare cases where Alpha is actually the way to go, depending on if you like the skill that it's coming with, as this gives you more bang for your buck when it does come to that min-maxing if you're all about that. Now for this build specifically, the Frostfang Greaves Alpha are just way too good. Honestly, this is good for any knockout set. Whether it's a normal hammer build, something like this with punishing draw, or even sticky ammo on heavy and light bowguns. For our weapon, this could be changed for anything, honestly. I am using Elatrion Revolution. You could swap it out for any elemental greatsword. We are using the greatsword though for our punishing draw and Frostcraft specifically. Now you could use any greatsword such as the Wrathless Gleam Sword, anything with high element on it, but element specifically, as our Velkhana Divinity level 2 gives us critical element. Landing critical hits increases our elemental damage. For the charm, I'm using a focus level 3, although you could use any charm that gets you any of these skill points which we have maxed out on the screen. For our mantles, we're using the impact mantle to increase the power of our knockouts and to add knockout to all of our attacks, along with the rock steady mantle because why not, especially for greatsword. Heading into decorations for the build, we have a critical draw jewel, critical boost, draw vitality, critical protection, you get the deal. We have a little bit of medicine in here just for some extra recovery up, especially if you have a weapon that's augmented with health boost. A draw maintenance jewel to give us a little bit of tool specialist for our mantles. We have a draw maintenance jewel, critical medicine jewel. We have 2 vitality jewels to help us get our health boost maxed out, and we have another tool specialist. On our mantles, we have part breaker on our impact mantle and medicine recovery on our rock steadied. Some of these last few skills in the build are kind of just play around with as you like. The main focus of this build is everything on top, which is maxed out. But as we go through the skills, we have Velcana Divinity level 2, increases elemental damage when landing critical hits. Since our critical boost is completely maxed out on our build, we are always critting on our draw attacks. So with the Velcana Divinity level 4 and our Frostfang Absolute art, adding Punishing Draw to Frostcraft draw attacks, we're hitting for big damage and stunning at the same time. And since our critical draw is maxed out, every single draw attack we have is guaranteed to crit, which also plays with our critical element on the Velcana Divinity. But going back up the list and down, we of course have Health Boost level 3, the best defensive skill in the game, along with our critical boost. We don't have any weakness exploit or critical eye in here because the main name of the game is draw attacks only. And because of that, we're also using focus, which reduces the charge time of great swords by 15%, so our draw attacks are much faster to get out. On the next page, we have Slugger level 3 to help with our punishing draw attacks for our stun, and Quick Sheath to help us put our heavy weapon away, and Divine Blessing level 3 is always good. This is also one of the better defensive skills in the game. The rest of the skills can be interchanged, honestly, but I do suggest having Airborne, especially for the draw attacks on Greatsword, because those can also be charged if you're jumping off of small ledges and whatnot. And Tool Specialist is honestly one of my favorite skills in the game, just gets our impact and Rocksteady Mantle back up a lot sooner. Number 4, Roar Styx Pierce. Roar Styx Pierce focuses on the gun itself, Roar Styx Pierce, as it comes with razor sharp spare shot on it, but also has a great affinity for, not literal crit affinity, but great affinity for piercing ammo. It's a very fun playstyle that uses a special scope attachment on the heavy bowgun. It also comes with Wyvern Snipe and is able to shoot sticky ammo and sleep ammo and all that, so you get the proper setup for your shots. The Styx Pierce build is very fun because you get to play at a distance. The Pierce ammo playstyle is the contrary to the spread ammo playstyle. This one makes you aim for the long ends of monsters and try to pierce as much of the body as you can. It's also able to use sticky ammo for getting some knockouts and sleep ammo along with cluster. This gives you ample opportunity to set up distance and shots, and it even allows you to pull off your Wyvern Snipes properly. Pair that with the weapon already having spare shot on it, and you get free sticky ammo shots and piercing ammo shots all the time, which just feels great. It means you can mindlessly shoot for a while sometimes, but you also get to play with a different camera view, which is the special scope. It feels a bit strange at first, but once you get used to it, I guarantee you're gonna have a really good time. For the helm piece, we have the good old Brachydium Helm Beta Plus, comes with weakness exploit and a lot of great slots. Next we have Escadora Soul Beta Plus, gives you all of your health boost, the best defensive skill in the game, I will say it again. And a little bit of Resentment. The Resentment isn't really what you're looking for here, it's the great slots and the health boost. Next we have the Shari Shvalda Braces Beta Plus. These were kind of meta for a while before a lot of the newer monsters came out, back when Iceborne was first around. This bad boy gives you 2 points of critical boost along with a level 4 slot. Next we have the Tentacle Coil Y. This is where we're getting a little weird. This is the Arc Tempered Nominal Waistcoat. Gives you 3 points of evade extender and 2 points of recovery speed. Comes with a level 4 and a level 2 slot. I can't stress how good this piece of equipment is for anybody who wants their evade extender maxed out just instantly, and especially on heavy bowgun. I swear you travel like a mile whenever you dodge. Next up we have the Brachydium Greaves Beta Plus, 2 points of weakness exploit and lots of great slots just like the helm. It also completes our Agitator secret on this build. As for the weapon of choice, we are using the Soulfire Roar Styx. This weapon comes with the razor sharp spare shot skill already slapped on it, so you don't have to worry about that. Comes with a great attack value of 420. 420. It also comes with 10% affinity, and it comes with 2 level 3 slots. Don't be confused by that extra level 1 slot. I have mine augmented. As for the custom mods on here, you can kind of do what you like. I personally have 3 recoil suppressors on, a special scope, and the power barrel. The special scope makes this gameplay a little bit strange, but it ultimately does increase your damage, and that's why this build kind of gets a little bit fun. Whenever you're aiming, you do get this special scope on your screen. Kind of makes you feel like you're actually playing a first-person shooter. This is a Wyvern Snipe special ammo bowgun as well. As you see here, it uses all levels of piercing ammo, piercing level 1 and 3 being what you want to go for. As for set bonuses, we literally only have the Prakidios Agitator secret on, even with all these other ones popping up because we are using so many different pieces of armor. But getting into the actual skills, we have good old Crit Eye, level 7. While I do like to focus on builds that aren't necessarily all Critical Eye, Weakness Exploit, Critical Boost, this build is still a very fun and strong build because of this. So maxing out our Critical Eye, Critical Boost, and Weakness Exploit is kind of like mandatory on this build. Agitator is also one of the best offensive skills in the game. Only having to wear 2 pieces of our Brachidium, getting us our Agitator secret, you might as well max it out. We have level 7 Agitator, of course, our health boost level 3. Evade Extender is very good on heavy bow guns. Allows you to traverse a very far distance. Divine Blessing level 3, one of our better defensive skills again. Using a heavy bow gun, even with our Evade Extender level 3, it doesn't hurt to have this on due to the heavy weapon and all. Next we have Recovery Speed level 2. This is kind of just extra throughout our skills, decorations, and armor. Piercing Shots level 2 skill. Why isn't there a secret for these? This is the main name of the game with this build, and the rest of these skills aren't too important. Special ammo boost is obviously very good. We do have 1 point of fortify, so if you do die a couple times, especially if you're playing slow, you're only going to get higher and higher attack damage. Special ammo boost, of course, for our bowgun special ammo, the Wyvern Snipe on this one, and the Razor Sharp Spare Shot is coming from the weapon itself, so you don't need to worry about that. For the decorations on the weapon itself, because it comes with 2 level 3s, we're able to shot all of our piercing shots skill on here. We have a True Shot Jewel, Challenger Medicine Jewel, Expert, Fortify Release, Expert, you get the idea. But as you are slotting in things, you want to try to get your free element and ammo up in here just so you can be shooting as long as possible, especially on a heavy bowgun. But of course we have all of our Expert and Critical Boost slotted in, nothing really crazy to see here. Down on the Rocksteady handle, I have a couple attack boost jewels just for good measure, and the Temporal, honestly, you can put anything here. Number 3, Parasmash. The Parasmash build focuses on a paralyzing sword and shield with some slugger skill in to boot. This is a support playstyle that focuses on debilitating the monster to allow your teammates to go in for an all-out attack. It focuses on purely keeping the monster just locked out, and the sword and shield really shines with slugger to my surprise. This set is just so good for team play if you're having some other hunters bringing some heavy damaging weapons. It has great synergy between the status ailment of paralysis and the knockouts, as they both keep the monster still to build up both at the same time. You're not going to know which one's actually going to trigger first. Combining that with the tool specialists we have slotted in here, you get some really great mantle usage out of the Apothecary Mantle and the Impact Mantle. Admittedly, this build is actually a hybrid build of a pure knockout sword and shield build I have, but I'll save that one for another video. The sheer fun of this build really is just being able to do kind of like 2 status ailments at once. Knockout isn't a status ailment, but both knockout and paralysis just keep the monster locked out for everybody to perform like an all-out attack. I'm very proud to say this is a 100% Terrorize original build, although I'm sure it has been done by somebody somewhere out in the Monster Hunter world. This build is actually very straightforward. We're using mostly Golden Rathian armor. I know I said I wouldn't get too far into Fatalis armor, but this is a very original build and I had to use this to slot it in. This is just me min-maxing it, but you can swap out the Dragon Claws for something else to definitely make this build work. But with that being said, we have the Golden Loom Helm Beta Plus, 2 points of health boost, a level 4 and a level 2 slot. We have Golden Loon Male Beta for 2 points of Divine Blessing, a level 4, a level 2, and a level 1 slot. Dragon Claws Beta Plus gives us 1 point of Weakness Exploit and all of the decoration slots in the world. Like I said, don't pay attention to this too much. This isn't standard for the builds I'm going to be doing in the future on YouTube. Next we have the Golden Loon Coil Beta Plus. This also comes with 3 points of Divine Blessing and some good slots coming in at a level 4 and a level 2. Just something to take note of, I use the Golden Rathian Waste and the chest a lot to get all my points of Divine Blessing. We have 2 here and 3 here, and it also gives us our Golden Rathian Essence, level 2, gives us Divine Blessing Secret. And lastly, we have the Golden Loon Greaves Beta Plus, comes with 2 points of Weakness Exploit and a level 4 slot. Not the best piece of armor, but with all 4 of these, we get our set bonus for Golden Rathian, which is greatly increases status effect damage when landing critical hits. As for the weapon of choice, we are using the Radabon Os 3. This weapon comes with 392 attack damage, and it only actually gets up to blue sharpness without the use of skills to unlock the white. It comes with 360 paralysis that is normally hidden, but we're using free element to draw the paralysis out of this. This is straight up just the best paralysis weapon in the game for Sword and Shield, although don't quote me on that, as there might be some Kolf Taroth weapons that do beat it out. But we're able to bring the element of this, the paralysis, up to a whopping 480 paralysis on this. For the charm, we're using a simple Master's Charm, level 5, Critical Eye. The charm can be swapped out for anything as long as you meet the requirements for this build. For the mantles, we're using the Impact Mantle and the Apothecary Mantle, Impact for our stuns and the Apothecary for our paralysis. As for the decorations, we have a Jumping Jewel, Expert Jewel level 4, a Knockout Jewel, Release Maintenance, Knockout again, Tool Specialist to help our mantle recovery, Release Maintenance, Release Vitality to get our free element up to draw out the paralysis on this weapon. And we have our Paralysis Jewel level 4, along with some more Knockout, Jumping Expert, and more paralysis to get our level 4 paralysis on this weapon. Now, we don't actually have critical boost on this set at all, unless it's on our mantles, but since our mantles are up so much, we generally are going to have critical boost most of the time. But for this set specifically, you're not going for damage, so of course you don't need the critical boost that much. As for the skills we're actually using, we have all 4 points of Golden Rathian Essence unlocked, giving us Divine Blessing Secret and True Critical Status to help with our paralysis. Crit Eye level 7, of course, to make sure that we are getting that True Critical Status landing, because it only increases the status effect when you are landing critical hits. So that's why we're using Critical Eye level 7. So that's why we're using Critical Eye level 7, and we do have Weakness Exploit. We're not focusing on the critical boost. We just want to make sure that we're critting so much to get our paralysis up. Divine Blessing level 5 is obvious. Paralysis attack level 4 gives you 30% paralysis buildup and a bonus 10 paralysis. Health boost, of course. And free element is because of the weapon of choice that we are using. You can use a normal paralysis sword and shield if you like, and forego the free element up. I just have the Radabon Os 3 specifically because it has the highest potential for paralysis, even though it is locked behind free element. Weakness exploit, of course, as we went over before, to make sure that we're landing our true critical status all the time. We have Slugger level 3. I would like to get the Slugger secret skill in here as well, but I found it unnecessary, as getting an extra 20% on Sword and Shield isn't really that necessary. An extra 40% stun power is very good, honestly, and you can leave it there. Although if you want to play around with this build yourself, I suggest going for it. Tool Specialist maxed out at level 3. We want to keep our mantles on as much as possible with the Apothecary and the Impact Mantle to just keep the monster locked down no matter what. And Evade Extender is just kind of extra on this set. Number 2, Elemental Crit Dual Blades. This is an Elemental Dual Blades build that takes advantage of critical element while also using the Elytron armor for very good elemental defense, which in turn increases your elemental attack power. Now, originally I got the idea for this Elemental Crit Dual Blades build from a video I seen a long time ago when Elytron first came out. Everybody was having trouble in multiplayer trying to defeat Elytron, and so some people took to YouTube and tried doing some solo hunts with it. I remember watching this guy play this Dual Blades build, and I just got so inspired by it. The reason why I think this build is so fun and strong is that it utilizes dual blades. Dual blades are the quickest weapon in the game that provide lots of element and status ailment buildup. And what's great about this build is the armor set. It gives you great elemental defense, which in turn just gets you more damage. And you can even make multiple sets of this to tool in any elemental damage or defense to suit your needs. The ability to just go ham on a monster and just slash and slash and slash over and over again, especially with the help of the skilled Marathon Runner, just really gives you a hard dopamine release. It just really allows you to stack on the elemental DPS. And seeing the element stat on your screen compared to what it is as the base weapon just also releases dopamine. I just love this set so much. So this is one of my favorite sets for dealing out elemental damage. Of course, it uses the Escadora mail for the most part, the Elytrion armor for the set bonus. So first we have the Rimegarn Helm Beta. This is the Velkhana helm piece for the beta version. It comes with Divine Blessing level 2, so not a bad piece overall, especially with a 4 slot and a 2 slot. Next we have the Escadora Soul Beta. This has health boost level 3 and a piece of resentment level 1 just for kicks. It comes with a level 4 and 2 level 1 slots. This is a very, very good piece of armor. Health boost is like a mandatory on all builds, so this I can't stress how much I love this. This is a go-to for me and many players. Next we have the Rimeguard Van Braces Beta. Comes with quick sheath and flinch free. Not a bad couple of skills by themselves. At least getting that 1 point of flinch free will help you in co-op, but only coming with a level 4 slot. I feel like these arms really fall behind a lot of other arm pieces. Next is the Escadora Might Beta. Comes with attack boost level 3 and dragon resistance level 3. Very, very good piece of equipment again. Comes with a level 4 slot and a level 1 slot. Good slots, not the best. And the Escadora Sheath Alpha. Now the reason why we're using the Alpha over the Beta is the simple fact that the Beta does not come with the Dragon Attack level 4. Actually, yes, I have it right here. So the Escadora Sheath Beta Plus comes with 2 level 4 slots and a level 2 slot, but at the sacrifice of all these 4 points of Dragon Attack. So if you actually do the math and you want more skill points put into your build total, if you're trying to min-max, the Alpha is actually more worth your time, especially because it still just downgrades the level 4 slots to level 2. So really you're only missing out on 2 points of skills by switching down to this one, but you get 4 points of dragon attack. So I don't know why you'd ever pick the beta unless you're really just trying to customize the build more yourself. Either way, the Escadora Beta and Alpha, very good pieces of equipment, comes with defense boost level 3 and a lot of slots to work with. For this set, I'm using the Master's Charm level 5, just some crit eye, good old crit eye, but you really could use anything that benefits of boosting your elemental attack, such as a Dragon Charm or a Fire Charm. Mantles, you can kind of use whatever you want with this build. It actually doesn't matter too much. So with the decorations for this set in mind, we have a Weakness Exploit. We have a Stamina Surge Jewel, just for good measure for dual blade usage. This could be replaced with anything else, especially because this is the weapon slot, so you don't even need to be using the Elytrion dual blades. Next we have a Marathon Runner Crit Eye Jewel, because we are using dual blades. Another Weakness Exploit. Fortify and Attack Boost. Fortify is a very good skill if you're ever playing by yourself, or even in co-op. It's just so good if you do faint 2 times. You get a permanent 20% attack boost and 30% defense increase. I use this when I'm fighting Elytrion or Fatalis by myself. Very good skill. Only costs 1 point as well. A Dragon Attack Jewel just to get our dragon damage up more. Another Crit Eye Jewel. A Hard Ice Resistance Jewel. This can be swapped out with any elemental resistance to offset your armor's weakness to boost your damage. A Hard Defense Jewel to get us up to level 6 to get the all elemental resistances +5 bonus. That'll increase our elemental damage due to our Elytrion Divinity level 2. Another Dragon Attack Jewel, Weakness Exploit, and a couple more Marathon Runners to top off our Dual Blades build. On the Temporal Mantle here, I have a couple of Speed Eating Jewels. Usually on mantles, if you can't think of anything else to fit in that isn't like damage or something, you just want to go with Speed Eating or Recovery Up or something like that. Maybe even Quick Sharpening. So with all those decorations slotted in and all these pieces of equipment, we have Elytrion Divinity level 2 and level 3. Give us the 20% increase to all elemental resistances, of course. We have Critical Element from the 2 pieces of Velkhana. We could go for True Crit Element with the Silver Rathalos, but at the cost of some Elytrion Divinity, but I like the defensive options that this has and the skills that are on this in general as well. Crit Eye level 7, doesn't need explaining, affinities, poggers. We have Defense Boost level 6 to get all of our elemental resistances up to +5. For the extra elemental damage because of our Elytrion Divinity level 2. We have Dragon Attack level 6, the maximum amount of elemental damage we can do depending on the weapon that you're bringing to the table. If you want fire, then go fire attack, obviously. Attack boost level 4 gets us 5% affinity, so we leave it there. The reason why we're going with so much affinity, speaking of which, is because of the Velkhana Divinity. The critical element increases elemental elemental damage when landing critical hits. So you want to make sure that you're landing critical hits as much as possible. Next we have health boost level 3. This is a mandatory in all of my builds. If you're not using health boost level 3, I don't know what is wrong with you. This is the best defensive skill in the game. Ice resistance level 3 and dragon resistance level 3. Admittedly, this build is because I was just soloing Elatrion. Try to get one of his rubies or his azure dragonspires. These two could be swapped out as well. Obviously this is getting us 50 ice resistance, oh my god, and 35 dragon resistance. But if you notice, because of all this elemental defense I have, these dual blades normally have only 480 dragon, so we're being boosted up to a whopping 740 dragon, which is absolutely mind-blowing, honestly. Of course, next we have weakness exploit. Doesn't get you extra damage itself, but because of its increased boost of infinity, we're really critting with our elemental damage. We have another mandatory skill in Marathon Runner. We have at level 3. This is great for dual blade users with the demon mode. Really slows down that stamina usage. Next we have Divine Blessing level 2, kind of remnants of the skills that are left over in this build. We have Resentment, Fortify of course. Put in a Stamina Surge Recovery Jewel just because we are using dual blades. Quick Sheath and Flinch Free just come for free with the set with the arms. Overall, this build is kind of a monster. Being able to switch out the elemental resistances you need for certain fights that you're going up against only to increase the elemental damage that you're probably bringing to the table for those said fights is just really, it's just too good, man. It's too good. Imagine this build going up against Teostra, Lunastra, using some ice dual blades and covering your fire resistance by jacking it up. This build allows so much because of the Elatrion divinity, and I just love this armor set and this build altogether. Very good build. This is one of my favorite builds for dealing elemental damage, honestly, and probably my favorite dual blades build altogether. It feels so good to be hitting for so much elemental damage. And this build is also the reason why I can solo Elatrion by myself. Now with our #1 most fun and strong build in Monster Hunter World, at least for this video. This is the Terrorize build. This is my go-to build for just about anything. The reason why this build is fun is because this allows you to take on virtually any monster besides some of the end game stuff and just be able to do what you like. It comes with plenty of great damage with all the skills that you see on screen, and the Divine Blessing secret is just way too good to ignore. Combine this with peak performance and a health augment on your weapon or something like that, and you're staying at maximum health most of the time with the Divine Blessing kicking in. And we also have the recovery up when we're also using our mantles to get our health back up to full for that peak performance to kick in. This set consists of Brachydium Helm Beta Plus, the 1 weakness exploit. Oh man, now that I'm at the end of the video and recording, I've obviously noticed that Brachydium is used a lot in a lot of my builds. But going on ahead anyway, this build specifically uses a lot of Brachydium and the Golden Rathian, like I said earlier, my 2 favorite pieces. But right here we're using the Brachydium Helm Beta Plus, the 1 weakness exploit, the 2 level 4 slots and level 1 slot, the Golden Loon Mail Beta as we've been over before, 2 Divine Blessing, a level 4, a level 2 and a level 1, Brachydium Braces Beta Plus, level 2 Agitator and 2 level 4 decoration slots. Golden Loon Coil Beta Plus gives you 3 points of Divine Blessing, a level 4 and a level 2 slot. This is a great piece of armor even if you do not want to go for the Divine Blessing secret here, as it gives you maxed out Divine Blessing without having to get the Divine Blessing secret, so you can wear this by itself. And the Brachydium Greaves Beta Plus, obviously for some more weakness exploit and some great slots as well. As for the weapon, the great thing about this build is that you can actually use any weapon you want, although I suggest the light break weapons as they come with great slots on them. And let's just be real, blast is just really good. Light break weapons also come with a very good amount of purple sharpness and a lot of white sharpness to boot. As for the charm, we're using Challenger Charm level 5 for Agitator. The mantles can honestly be anything. The fun about this build, like I was saying before, is that this build just allows you to take on any monster. Honestly, this is one of the most comfortable builds I've ever played in Monster Hunter, and this is the main build that I use. Although you usually see me accompanied by the Greatsword. As for the decorations on our final build in this video, we have the Flawless Maintenance Jewel, a Brace Jewel, Vitality, Critical Medicine, Gobbler Expert for the Speed Eating. Speed Eating is one of my favorite skills in all of Monster Hunter ever since Monster Hunter Freedom 2. Vitality, Flawless Maintenance, Critical Jewel, Vitality, more Gobbler and Expert, right here and right here. Flawless Maintenance, Critical Jewel, Expert Jewel level 4 and more Expert Jewel here, of course. The mantles, like I said, this can literally be anything. We have some recovery up to help our health augment on our weapon. But going into the skills, as you can see on the right, this is the cleanest build I have, honestly. It just looks so perfect. Going all the way from the top, maxed out everything all the way to the bottom. Don't look at the recovery up flinchfully, just pretend that they're not there. But we have Brachydios Will giving us our Agitator Secret and Golden Rathian Essence for the Divine Blessing Secret. This is one of the most OP secrets in the game. You can fight me on that, honestly. Critical Eye level 7, Agitator level 7, just to do critting all the time, I guess? I don't know. Divine Blessing level 5, so that you never die, accompanied with Health Boost level 3. Critical Boost and Weakness Exploit to just be going super meta and be dishing out lots of great damage. Peak Performance here, because when you do have the health regen augment on your weapons, getting your health full is a cinch with this because of our Divine Blessing. This just kicks in so much of the time that your health doesn't really decrease that much that when it does kick in. And so your health regen augment will get you back to full health to give you the extra 20 true raw attack power. Speed Eating level 3, this is one of the best skills I think of the game alongside tool specialists that are more of utility skills. This just speeds up so much in a fight when you do take damage. And while I love to show the true power of the speed eating on my support sword and shield build, I'll have to show that in the next video I'm going to make on builds. So stay tuned for my support build and another build video I'll be making. So wrapping up this build and the video in general, this build is great because peak performance is just triggered all the time with the health regen augment on your weapon, especially paired with the Divine Blessing Secret. You're keeping your health topped off at all times. You kind of feel unbeatable. And even when you do take damage, you can attack to heal or utilize the speed eating you have paired in. And since this build is so flexible, you can really use any weapon in the game, whether it's a different weapon type in general or its status or elemental. But I like to go with blast weapons, especially the light break weapons, as they can be brought to 99% of fights in the game. And so what makes this build really shine and stand out is just the sheer comfortability. It's really what makes this build fun and strong, just as the video title says. The defense is just so fantastic, and you retain great DPS due to peak performance and your health regen augment on top of your Divine Blessing Secret. This is like a main character build in my eyes, and you really can't get away with fighting any monster using this build. When I'm just mindlessly playing and I don't want to focus on changing sets depending on the fights, this is what I'm using all the time. This is my main build and it's my go-to for sure. So I wanted to give it a shout out in this video I made. Well, that's gonna do it for today, guys and gals. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm focusing on making more Monster Hunter World content going forward on our way to the next Monster Hunter title, which has yet to be released. I figure this is the perfect game to play, even for returning players. We all know at this point that the next Monster Hunter will be very heavily inspired by Monster Hunter World, so this is the perfect time to hop in. And so with that in mind, I'm gonna try to pump out lots of Monster Hunter World content, both fun, exciting, and technical with the videos. With Monster Hunter World in mind, what kind of content would you like to see? Would you like to see more build videos, more tier lists? Or would you like to see general gameplay videos or even guides on weapons? Please let me know in the comments down below. I try to read every single comment and your feedback is very important. Also, I'm going to be having a poll posted tomorrow, and even if you're viewing this video at a later time, I'd please ask you to go vote on it. I'm wondering how much of the player base that I get on YouTube is actually playing on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox. So please take the time to go vote on that. Either way, that's it for today, guys and gals. This has been Terrorize, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!